Okay, Dolphins week. They're a team that presents a lot of challenges to you schematically, from a personnel standpoint as well. Ton of respect for what they do down there schematically, offensively. It's built on speed, tons of shifts and motions. A huge challenge to slow that offense down. Defensively, they can do a lot in the pressure game and the coverage game. Really keep you on your toes in terms of changing the look. Really good players at all three levels of the defense. Special teams, speed, fast returners, but really well coached group that I have a ton of respect for, and we have to play our best. So we're going to focus on our preparation, focus on how we work this week to go play our best on Sunday. But with that, I'll take any questions. Yeah, it's truly day to day. We'll have to see how he feels tomorrow and the next day. He's progressing. He'll practice some today, so he's progressing.
Big, give a blank factor. Do you see him pressing at all? Is this start of the season hasn't gone like he wants?
I don't. I think, like to Tommy's point, Jerry wants to provide for this football team in any way he can. Obviously, he's a leader. We put a lot on his plate. We ask him to do a lot, so he just needs to do what he's capable of doing. I've seen it many times from him.
Are you seeing that? Is it something maybe more technical in terms of some of the drops?
Yeah, I think you can learn from every play. It's not a coaching point just to say, "Hey, catch the ball." You got to tell your guys whatever it is technique-wise, whether it's there's all sorts of tricks of the trade in terms of looking it in and finishing the catch, the elements of the catch first before you turn, all those type of things. So I think Coach O'Shea does a great job with our guys on a day-to-day basis working those things.
Switching quarterbacks, is that difficult for a receiver?
Yeah, our guys have caught from all of our quarterbacks throughout the spring, so I don't think that's an issue.
What did you see different from his first start to last week in Pittsburgh, and what is, I guess, where can he take it to the next level?
Yeah, I think like any young player, you're looking to make improvement from game to game in a ton of different areas. Obviously, first home game this time, so in front of our fans, so you're not on the silent count, those type of things. So operationally different than a road environment, but no different than any young player to just build on the things that you're doing well. And our job as coaches is identify some of the things that we can help them with, and but incremental improvements from our young players is what's most important.
You talk about self-scouting. For you, when you self-scouted yourself, what did you sort of come away with in doing that?
Well, I think self-scout happens after every game. You spend time thinking about the game. I think then you get typically into 4 game blocks where you look at your schemes, offense, defense, and special teams. So that's ongoing. But there's a ton of areas that we need to be better, like I've told you guys, and the collective we share in that. That's coaches, players, you name it.
This is a game where you guys should be able to rely on him a little bit more heavily. Do you see it that way heading into this game, and do you also, in retrospect, feel like maybe you should have run him a little bit more in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think it's no secret to anyone that Q is a big part of our offense. Obviously, we have a ton of trust in him. Game script sometimes determines usage, I would say, but he's a huge part of what we do.
Offensively, do they run a bunch of the wide zones still?
They do.
It feels like you guys used to do that a ton and have gotten away from it some. Can you just explain why you don't run that as much?
Yeah, I think I'd have to look at the numbers to say we've gotten away. It's still a core part of what we do, but there's certainly gap elements to what we do as well, or more downhill type things. But you try to just be have enough variety in your schemes. But it's something that they do. They also have the ability to pull guards and those type of things as well.
Someone that you would think about calling back up and bringing him up this way again?
You know, obviously, I hate to see that news down there in Tennessee. I talked to Brian. I've not talked to Bill, but obviously, I hate that news. Yeah, like I said, I haven't talked to Bill. You know, so obviously, I think very highly of him, but they're, you know, I'm disappointed for them with that news.
How do you, as a coach, though, keep the locker room together and, you know, make sure that frustrations on either side of the ball don't boil over into, you know, finger pointing and a division of the team when you're trying to get things going on?
Yeah, I understand the question, Daryl. I think we have a group of guys on this football team, leaders on the offense, defense, special teams that understand what's in front of us, understand that when you go through tough times, you have to show that resilience together. You got to show that resolve. And really all we can do is focus on what we have in front of us.
Right now, they're leading the league. I mean, does that bother you?
I think winning and losing is what's most important, Tony. That's the things that we focus on. Obviously, we want to be able to run the ball effectively in games when you have the lead and you can run the ball and keep the lead, quote unquote. But that's certainly something that we keep in mind as you go into games. Yes. Yeah, I talked to Dave yesterday. He's a favorite of this building. He's a favorite of the coaches, of the staff. He's just a guy that, from the moment he got here, he always did it the right way. Super dependable. You know, I think back to that game where he was injured, and I'm making it up, but he played like 15 plays or something, and was so impactful in those 15 plays. Had a big catch off of play action, had a great scramble drill catch, was making plays, doing dirty work for us in the run game. So just, you know, think very highly of the person. He'll do great in whatever is next for him. But also just a guy that was fun to coach because he was just the consummate professional.
When you look at that Miami running back, does he have special speed, and like what jumps out about him?
Speed. Yeah, he's a great runner. He's a great receiver. They can line him up everywhere. They do a great job of using all 53 1/3 of the field and making you defend all of it. So he gets your attention very quickly. Just that speed's legit.
Closer to opening Deshaun's practice window?
Yeah, not no real update there other than he's doing a great job rehabbing, doing a good job in meetings.
What do you see when you watch Drew on film right now?
Good player. Again, it's a really nice marriage of the scheme and his skill set with how quickly he gets the ball out, how accurate he is when he gets the ball out. I think he sees it really, really clearly, can get the ball to all areas of the field, and get the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
I know you don't listen to the media a lot, but outside noise, pressure on you, how do you deal with that?
I don't listen to it. It's probably the easiest way. I grew up in Philly. I was a longtime listener of 610 WIP, so I understand the media role, and I understand, you know, that for our fans, that's an important part of our interest in this game. But I also know in my chair that I'm currently sitting in that you can't listen to that type of stuff.
And how does your family, what's that like for?
Yeah, I don't
for
want to get
your
into
kid?
that. I respect the question, but I don't want to get into that.
Kevin, when you talk about the speed that the Dolphins have, is that an element that you would like to incorporate more in your own offense? Do you have it on the roster? And if so, can you use it more?
Without a doubt. I mean, speed is something that defenses respond to, obviously, Mary Kay, and the more ways you can get the ball in the hands of guys that can go. I think that's the important piece of playmakers, is getting the ball where they can, you know, put the foot in the ground and get vertical and make yards. And if with speed, when you block things cleanly, it can really be an explosive play.
How have they adjusted to the loss of Tyreek?
Yeah, I think obviously they're adjusting a little bit just personnel-wise and some of those plays. He's a great player, as everybody knows, but they continue to be explosive in the ways they get all of their playmakers involved.
How much of a challenge is Arcane in that running game? Because he had another explosive run last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's an impressive scheme because they can turn and hand it to him, and whether it's wide zone or gap schemes, toss schemes, they can line him up at receiver and throw it to him. They can throw screens to him. They just he's in a lot of ways can line up everywhere. I know he's a running back by nature, but he can line up anywhere. They can get him the ball to him anyway.
Kevin, in recent weeks, it seems like teams, like especially the Steelers and the Vikings, have been kind of neutralizing the pass rush by getting the ball out quickly, and the Dolphins are no different with their average depth of target and how quickly Tua gets the ball out. As a defense, how do you guys counteract that to still be effective?
Yeah, I think if you look definitely over the last couple of years, Daniel, every team that plays us gets the ball out quickly. That's by design, obviously, with Miles being on our roster. So there's ways that we try to mitigate that with rush and coverage involved. And then when you can get offenses into those down and distances where they have to hold the ball, third and longer, call it 3rd and 7+, where they're longer developing plays, potentially that's when you can play to your strengths. But understand that all teams come in versus us trying to get the ball out quickly.
Is Mike Hall any closer to playing?
Yeah, he's doing a great job, getting closer every day.
It's been a while since you've been home for a game, and it's been a while since you've won a game. So, what kind of reception are you expecting, and what kind of reception would you like to get?
Yeah, we've gotten unbelievable support from our fans over the years. We're excited to be back in front of them. We're excited for the opportunity to go against the Dolphins. We think it's a privilege playing in front of our fans, and we're excited about it.
Have a red zone threat as well, or maybe on 3rd down too, because both of those percentages are high.
Yeah, he's a great player for them. You can see the element that he's added to their offense from, like you mentioned, Joe, in the red zone with his size, and he can run. He's always been a player that can get down the field. A lot of these tight ends that are so big but can cover ground and can separate vertically as much as horizontally, and he's certainly one of those guys.
Kind of surprised with
Two more.
Kind of surprised with his career resurgence.
No, I mean, he's back, feeling healthy. He looks good. So obviously he has plenty more to give.
It's been tough to have a lead this year, and you acknowledge that it changes the game. Might that encourage you to take the ball first on occasion?
Yeah, we always think about it by game, Tony, in terms of what you're trying to do. I think weather always plays a factor. If weather's going to be an issue where you want to have the win in the fourth quarter, that certainly comes into play.